When Paul tells us to submit to one another out of reverence for Christ, he really is just giving us another way to live out the command that Jesus gave us to love one another. Yeah, if you remember, Jesus is in the upper room. He has washed his disciples' feet. He is about to go to the cross, and all throughout his ministry, he's been preparing them for this moment, that they're going to be sent out, that they're going to continue on the work that he has done. And Jesus looks at them, and throughout their time together, the disciples have always been fighting over who was the greatest. And so Jesus shows them that the greatest among them is one who serves. And he looks at them and says, "This is my commandment to you. Love one another as I have loved you." So Jesus has just given them this picture, this image of him washing their feet, doing what was thought to be the least, or the lowest, or the worst job that could be given to someone to do in the entire house. And Jesus performs it for them. He washes their feet. He gives of himself as he's preparing to show them the ultimate act, the ultimate picture of his love by going to the cross for them. By dying on the cross for our sins in our place, Jesus shows us the depth of his love for us. He submits to us out of reverence to his Father. He dies in our place. He doesn't die for his benefit. He dies for our benefit. And then he looks at us and says, "Love one another as I have loved you." And so Paul transfers that on down and says we need to submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. That out of our worship, out of the awe that we have for all that God has done for us, all that Jesus has done for us, our response ought to be to submit ourselves to those around us. That we would place ourselves, that we'd arrange ourselves below other people, that we would look for opportunities to serve and build them up, to encourage them. For some, it might be to encourage them to love God more. For some, it might be bearing one another's burdens as we fulfill the law of Christ to our other Christian brothers and sisters. But for some, we might submit to them so that we might lift them up so they can see Jesus for the first time. Yeah, maybe they've heard God is love, but they've also heard, or they may have this picture in their mind that God is all about the rules, and that they can't figure out how to harmonize those two positions. That God can be for truth and justice and rules and law, but also be a God of love and of grace. But yet Jesus came to show us both truth and grace. He came to show us that there's a right way to live, but there's also grace for us in those times that we fall. And so, Jesus ultimately shows us this by dying on the cross. And we show this to one another by serving them in a myriad of big and small ways. Sometimes it's just showing up, just being present. And being present in that moment shows that we love those around us. God, I pray that this week we might have opportunities to serve those around us, that we might have opportunities to help them see and know Jesus, that we would have opportunities to share the gospel in large or small ways, so that as we do so consistently, as we consistently show up, that God might use us to help change the community around us. Hey guys, I love you. I'm praying for you, and I hope we get to see each other real soon.